Hey, it's Bob over at Bob's Cycle Barn. Some of you guys, somebody asked me what my last name was. It's Bob White, okay, just like the bird, if y'all know about that bird. I got my daggum keep Chad Reed great, make Chad Reed great again hat on today. I haven't had this on for a while. But anyway, I thought you might get a kick out of that. But I want to talk about what I'm working on today. And what I'm working on today is this. It's a not a KTM, a BMW 450. It's actually a G450X. It was their version of an off-road bike. And what I'm working on is the kickstand, but I want to talk a little bit about the bike for just a minute. All right, the kickstand is like a lot of these European bikes. When you put the kickstand down, you see I've got it down, but as soon as the pressure's taken off of it, that's what it does. And so the bike falls over because you're not used to that, or you just turn the damn wheel and it'll do that, okay? So there's a cure for it. I'm not sure quite what it is, but I'm gonna figure it out. I fix the KTM ones all the time that are like this so they stay down. So if you got this problem, bring me the bike and I'll fix it for you. But I do want to point out a couple of unique things about this BMW. They only made it for 3 years. This is the 2009. So they made it 2009, 10, and 11, I think. I think that's the way that went, or it's just 3 years. And a couple of unique things about it. One is that's the gas tank right there. It's under the seat. Now, they did that to centralize mass, of course. And it sounds like a great idea, of course. But the problem is it's only 2 gallons, a little over 2.1, I believe. 2.1 gallons. Now, this was a dual sport bike. Okay, it's got turn signals and all that other stuff, so it could be licensed for the street. Well, 2 gallons ain't gonna take you anywhere on a dual sport ride unless you've got to pass a gas station every 50 miles or something like that. So anyway, that was one problem. And I haven't got into this thing yet, but that's the air box right there. They purposely made this way oversized. I think that's to give the engine more air. It's just a big air pump, you know, and in turn, they will give it more horsepower. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, and I'll go over the spec. I'm gonna do a video of this thing. But the most unique thing about it, besides that, is that this is the swing arm. This is the swing arm. There's the countershaft sprocket. Okay, this still has the original countershaft sprocket on it. You have to take this big bolt loose right here to change the countershaft sprocket. Okay, well, it sounds like a really good idea because it keeps the chain tight. You never have to really, you know, it keeps it at the same tension through the travel because it's not like most conventional bikes. The problem is, of course, is if any of you guys have ever done a swing arm bolt, you know what a pain in the rear end those things can be. And they can get to the point where you can't get them out without mushrooming the end where you're pounding and stuff like that, which is always the threaded side. So, good idea, yeah, maybe not so much. Hopefully they put good grease and stuff in here, but I don't know that to be a fact. But anyway, so those are the kind of unique things. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to work on this thing. And like I said, I'll come back to you in just a minute when I've got a little bit more stuff to show you. Okay, guys. Hey, what I did was, this is the stock spacer that came out of the swing arm. What the problem is, first off, it's bent up and doesn't rotate like it should. But this part here sticks out too far, okay? And what it does, it makes the spring kick back the other way. So what I did was I took this thing and threw it away. I made up a little spacer, okay? And this is the bolt. And I made it up so it's just a little bit longer than this part right here, okay? So now this thing should rotate, okay? The proof will be in the pudding in just a minute when I get this thing back on. So let's check back in just a second. Hey guys, okay, so I finished the kickstand on this BMW, and as you can see, it's all the way forward now. and when I kick it backwards, it retracts very noticeably. It's got the springs are too strong on the thing. But now when we pull it forward, okay, now it'll stay down. So I have fixed that, and like I say, KTM's, Huskies, gases all come with a similar problem. If you need it fixed, bring it to me, I'll fix that for you. It's on their bikes that are street legal or dual purpose. It's a European standard to make sure the kickstand is not down when you take off, for I guess for a novice rider or somebody like that. But anyway, I got one more fix I need to do on this thing now. Is I need to put a foot back on that, and that is not available from BMW. I'm gonna have to make up something for that, and I'll keep you posted on that one too. Thanks for watching. I got more things to do to this BMW. I want to get all the plastics back on it, see if it runs, which I know it does run. Well, I'm pretty sure it runs. And but get the plastics and stuff back on it. I'm going to drain the gas though eventually, and just put it in the museum portion of the shop. You know, it's an old, kind of unique, kind of rare bike. Thanks for watching. I'll get back to you in a minute on the rest of these updates. A little update on the BMW that I'm working on. I pulled out the air filter. That goes right there, okay? And here it is. You can see it's big. This was a goal of BMW, was to create a very large surface area filter. Now, whether it has more surface area than the standard filters you find in KTM's and Japanese bikes, blah, 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 I'm not sure. And especially some of those filters that have dimples on them. I don't have an example of one right now, and I don't know the exact name for that thing. But anyway, it's got a lot of surface area. So, I don't know, but here's an interesting thing. I haven't really pulled this apart, but there's another little intake right here, okay? Right here. Look how dirty that thing is. So, a lot of the air gets sucked right there on that very surface area, and a lot of the rest of it, I guess, goes into this filter. I think there's an intake right there, okay? So there's another intake that goes into the back of this filter. Again, I haven't pulled it apart to see how clean or dirty it is. But anyway, so this is the filter system. The problem with it, as I see it, why I would never own one of these bikes. You have to pull the shrouds off to get to the thing. And you have to pull the shrouds off on both sides because it's latched on both sides. So you got to pull the front fender fairings off to even get to it. Second thing is, up here in this cavity right here is where the battery goes. Okay. Again, you got to pull the shroud off, and it is a little bit of a pain even to get to the connections there. You can't do it with like a screwdriver or something like that. You've got to use a wrench, or you can't use a socket. You got to use a wrench. So again, it's a little bit of a pain in the rear end to service this thing. Okay, I'll keep you updated. Hey guys, still working on this BMW that I keep trying to call a Husky. Noticed a couple things about it, because I've told you about the swing arm and the front sprockets wrapped around the axle for the swing arm. Up here in the front, I guess it's a good idea. It's got a radiator that goes all the way across. You can't really see it with the fender in the way, but it goes all the way across. This is like the old Husabergs had this feature. Had a fender, I mean, a radiator that went all the way across. I'll be honest with you, there's a bunch of dumb designs on this thing. One is this air box. While it's kind of big and you got a lot of room, you got to fasten it on both sides, and it's also, you have to take the shrouds off to even get to it. And the other thing I mentioned before was the battery, which is right up there. I'm going to tell you something. It's impossible to get your hand in there to screw the damn deal. On this side, it's okay. But on the other side, trying to screw that damn nut on there, it'll drive you batters. I bet I spent an hour trying to get that on, or maybe more. So that's something dumb about it. Watch this. Look here. This is where your sight glass is. Nice feature, right? Look what's next to it. That's the fill port. How do you get oil in there to fill the thing? Now, we can do it at the shop because we have these containers that have a flexible spout on it, and we could do it like that. But unless you have something like that or a flexible spout on a funnel, that's pretty dumb. Back here, I don't know if this is supposed to be like this or somebody just jacklegged this thing on here. You got that bolt that holds the muffler on, but look, it's encased, or it's inside of that spacer, which is impossible to get anything in to unscrew it. So again, something dumb. I don't know if BMW did that or some jackleg did it. So anyway, it's just a whole hodgepodge. Of course, I told you about the fuel tank being back here. But if you want to get in this thing to mess with the damn throttle body or anything else, even look, to get to the spark plug, you've got to take the air box apart so you can get in there just to get to the spark plug. And then it's held on, it's got a coil on it, but it's held on with a 8mm bolt. Not a bad idea, but getting a wrench in there, we had to use one with 2 flexible joints on it so that we could unscrew it. And then when we wanted to unscrew the spark plug itself, we had to use that same thing with 2 flexible joints to even get the angle right to take it out. Fortunately, it does have a kind of a standard type spark plug in it. It's one of the EIX type plugs. They're more expensive, but they do a better job actually of lasting and that sort of thing. Overall though, the bike runs. It's been rebuilt. That's what the guy I bought it from said. It's been rebuilt, and I'm just waiting for, I don't have any, I'm going through the bolts and stuff now, but I don't have any bolts for the fairings and plastic parts, so I'm waiting for that stuff to come in, and then I can put it back together. Another kind of I don't know if this is a dumb feature or not, but you can see the throttle cable. It's like the KTMs that has this stuff. That's actually a good idea because it comes down behind the handlebars, and that way it's out of harm's way if there's a branch or tree limb or something that doesn't, if it's hanging out front like the old style ones were, you know, and get snagged by some. But look, that is the way the clutch cable runs. It runs behind the handlebar too. There is no space up front for it to run behind the number plate and then down through. But I think it's okay. It's just kind of throws you back for a second when you used to see them run in front of the handlebars. All in all, though, I'm kind of got this bike running. Glad to see that. Was worried there for a little bit because it took a long time to start it, but we finally squirted a little starter fluid in it. It fired right up, and then it ran and idled fine. So I'm anxious to get the plastic on it and then go take it for a spin. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If I got more info, I'll post it later, but for now, that's all. Hey, guys. Hey, I'm still working on the BMW. Let me flip this camera around. The BMW, trying to get ready to kind of we're freshening it up, in other words. I've got finally got this, there were no screws with this thing. This thing, when it came in, is just like you see it right now. None of the plastic was on it or anything. And none of the screws to mount the plastic were with it, okay? So I have all that stuff now. So what I'm going to be doing this morning is cleaning up this plastic a little bit. And I'll show you how that goes in just a minute. So I'll put this on pause for a second and then come back. So anyway, I'm going to try this magic eraser stuff. I've used it before. I don't understand what the magic is about it, but anyway, that's what I'm using is this stuff. And I'm going to use brake clean. See how that does. This plastic turns out to be in pretty good shape. When I bought the bike, the impression I got from the guy was that he did a lot of riding, and I was worried about the plastic. I actually went and looked for plastic online. I think I mentioned this before. I found some complete plastic set in Bulgaria, okay? But anyway, so let's see what's going on here now. Actually, this is turning out to be pretty good. I'm going to aim this thing down just a little bit more. All right. And it's doing a pretty good job. I'm going to have to re-glue this a little bit. If that's okay, I can do that. I don't want it to go on that. It looked like it took a little bit of that paint off or whatever it is that's on the decal. So this seems to be working okay. I'm gonna keep working at this. I'll just come back in a few minutes. No need you guys just watching me do this. Well, I finished the stuff using the magic eraser thing and some brake clean. It kind of did an okay job, okay? I'm not unhappy with it, especially when I thought I was going to have to pay $700 or $900 for some more plastic. So anyway, I'm going to put this back on pause for a second and start putting this stuff on, and we'll see how the finished product looks. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I'm going back doing the same stuff again. Somewhere I have a little pick here. Here we go. So I've got another piece of plastic now. I'm just working on it a little bit.
Oh, that's right. That's the one that got lost.
Okay, guys, we got the BMW put back together. I just got through putting the plastic on it. Pretty cool. We had a little accident here. I'll show you. When we let the lift down, it got caught on a trash can and tipped over backwards. I'm gonna try it out here. Cool things though. Look at that BMW stick emblem up there. Back here's where the gas goes. I've got the cover for that. I'll put that on in a second. I'll try it out now. Whoop. So let's warm up a little bit. All right, I'm gonna finish buttoning this up. I might do another little video, just riding it around a little bit. We'll see.